I don't normally mind buying things, turn around, sell that I know are broken, as long as I can make a profit. All right, let me show you these real quick. These are David Clark aviation headphones. I picked them up at a thrift store for $29.99. They are for an airplane, and I don't own an airplane. There's no way I could test them. I don't normally mind buying things that I can't test, or I can't or I sell that I know are broken, as long as I can make a profit at the for parts or restoration price. Those I paid $30 for. I sold them for $59.99 plus shipping. And the person on the other end is going to get a fantastic deal. That's a $200 set of headphones if they work right. And I suspect that the person on the other end is going to be able to work on them, or they wouldn't have bought them. So I made some money. They got a good deal. I like buying untested or broken electronics for eBay, because it's kind of a niche thing, but you can do it well. If you do it well, there's money to be made. And this stuff doesn't end up in a landfill. No, there's probably nobody around here that those would have sat at that thrift store for a long time, because people with their own airplanes to test stuff don't normally shop at thrift stores, I wouldn't think. I don't know. Anyway, I like selling broken and parts for restoration stuff, because there's money to be made, and it helps out it helps keep stuff out of landfills. Okay, and so those I just wrap in some bubble wrap and stick them down here into this Regional Rate A box. It's upside down. And those ship out at a 2-pound rate, no matter how much they weigh. Now these weigh 1.5 pounds, which means I'm sending them at the 2-pound rate anyway. But the box is super convenient for sizing. They just fit in there. So this is going to Oregon, and it's bubble wrap taped in a free box. Super simple. 3 packs of old Power Ranger playing cards. These are not the kind of thing these are from 1994, so they're very early Power Ranger things. They're not the kind of thing that I would normally source, but I had a friend who passed away, and his mom's had me go through a bunch of his stuff, and those were something she was like, why don't you just take all of these cards and see if you can do something with them? I ended up selling a whole bunch of stuff for his parents, and making them a bunch of money and making me some money too. And then a bunch of money got donated to cancer research. But those were something where I told her I didn't know that they had much value. And she said, well, take them anyway. And I've had them for, it's been 2 years. And I listed them probably 9 months ago. And they just sat, and then finally somebody bought them. So playing cards are a hard sale unless they're something really old or something really special. Those are just kind of a neat something that took a while to get moved, but they did sell, so I showed them to you. What I'll do with these is, I happen to have these very small little bags that are made out of bubble wrap, so I'll wrap those in that, and then I'll wrap them in a little all together in one thing of bubble wrap, and then I'll put them in a poly mailer. Normally I would put them in a bubble mailer, but I just happen to be out of poly mailers or bubble mailers at the moment, so I'll throw them in a poly bag, bubble wrapped, and it's kind of the same deal. Finally sold the last pair of those 3 pairs of 34-36 Levi's. These, again, as is almost always true of Levi's that I sell, are made in the U.S. These are 505s. I prefer to do 501s. You can't see that. I'm showing it to you. You can't see it. Anyway, trust me, that says made in the U.S. Normally, the older ones, the 80s ones, that rather than being black will be red. Those are really good. These are newer, made in the U.S. They're probably early 90s. I think these sold for $17.99 plus shipping. I paid $1.75 like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And this sale is exactly why I have flat rate envelopes, padded envelopes. because these jeans are like 2 pounds and 3 ounces, which means they go out at a 3-pound rate, and they are going to Oregon, which means they're going to cost me like $12 to ship, which is crazy money. But this makes them $7.75 because they fit into a flat rate padded envelope that I got for free, and it's going to save me $5 on the shipping cost. I almost never buy Xbox 360 games, but Banjo-Kazooie is a name that a lot of people like to play that game. I actually have only ever played the one for the 64. I wasn't super impressed because I played Jak and Daxter first and it felt very, very similar. And then this one, for whatever reason, has another game, Viva Pinata, on the back. I paid $2 for this and didn't look it up ahead of time. It's not a big money game. It sold for that amount of money right there. I don't know. I don't remember. I think it was under $10 shipped, but it's only going to cost me like $3 to ship it. So $2 and $3, and then it sold for around $10. I'll make $4 on a $2 investment. That's not bad. Again, under ideal circumstances, this would be going into a into just a bubble mailer. But right now I'm out of bubble mailers, so it's in some bubble wrap, and I'll just slide it into one of the poly mailers that I have. All right, so this item, hi Caleb, say hi Caleb. Not gonna say hi, you gonna be shy? Wave, say hi. Hi. You're silly. Okay, this item was at a thrift store that normally marks Harley-Davidson stuff up a lot, but I suspect because of the label that they either missed it or thought they were fake. This is, bear with me a second. Hein Greich Harley-Davidson they were designing leather goods for Harley in the mid 80s. And so that dates these reasonably well. And I might have said that name wrong. And these have some condition issues. So they were only $10 for men's leather chaps. All right, I'm going to try this again. So these are genuine Harley-Davidson, even though that tag doesn't look quite right. Unfortunately about these, and these would be a $200 pair of chaps, except these like bolo ties looking tassel things are aftermarket. Somebody just stuck a hole in there and put these things in, which wouldn't kill it, except for this one's missing, and so that might make it okay for the right guy, but that one's missing. And then these are some of the buttons on the bottoms of the legs, like you can see right here. Let me see if you can see. That one pulled through, and then there's another one that pulled through. And so these aren't, even though they're nice looking, they aren't actually in super good shape. So I think I got them cheap because the thrift store that I bought them from didn't know what they were. And then I sold them reasonably cheap because there was a handful of odd condition issues. But these are big boys. These would have fit me. I think they're 44s. They adjust from like 40 to 44. And so that's a good sale. I bought them for $8.99, and then they went for whatever that says. I think they went for $80. I listed them for $100 plus shipping. I think they went for $79.99. Kind of an odd deal. This is the $6 Million Man. Let me see if I can do this. You can look through the hole in the back of his head and see, I don't know what you're supposed to see through his eyeball. But anyway, so this is the $6 Million Man. I don't know what's going on with his arm. And then there's this thing that's messed up. And he's got this button on the back, and it doesn't do anything. I don't know what it's supposed to do. But this figure in nice shape sells for like $40. This is obviously not in nice shape. I paid $5 for it. Now, here's the thing is, here's how you make money on something like this. The figure is in terrible shape. I didn't sell the figure. I didn't even list the figure. I paid $5. Somebody found this guy with no pants on at a garage sale 2 years ago, probably, and they're waiting to find the right price on the pants. So I listed the pants for $5. I listed this shoe by itself for $7.99, and I sold just this sock for $5.99. I paid $5 for the figure. I got six and 8 is 14, and another 6 is $20 worth of listings without listing the action figure. I can probably get $5 for the action figure naked, but right now he's just manning as storage for the parts and accessories that I am listing to sell separately to somebody who has a nice figure missing parts. And that is how you make money on these older action figures that are beat up. Sock, I don't know. I think I'm just going to put it in an envelope with a stamp. I don't normally like to do that, but at $6 I can ship this for 35 for, I guess it's not 35 cents anymore. It's been a long time since I bought stamps. Somewhere in the 60-cent range, I'm sure. I can ship this thing and it'll get there. I don't recommend you do that. As an eBay seller, if you're not uploading tracking numbers, you get dinged. I have thousands of transactions, so one ding isn't going to hurt me very much. Unless you have thousands of transactions, it could affect your top rated seller status. It could affect your seller protection even. If I put this in the mail and the guy says he never got it, I've done that a handful of times. I've never had that issue, but if you put something in the mail with no tracking number and the customer says they never got it, you have no way to do anything but refund them and apologize and assume that they never got it, or they're lying to you and they got it for free and got your money. Either way, I'm going to probably ship it would cost me $2. I'll see what it costs to ship it first class with tracking, but it'll probably be like $2.50. Anyway, I made a little bit of money on that action figure without even without the figure itself being worth hardly anything at all. And lastly but not leastly, just a couple weeks ago, probably even a week and a half ago, I found these air filters. I told you guys you should pretty well always pick up old filters for out-of-date machines because somebody's looking for them. I couldn't find comps the day that I bought them, but I did end up finding some comps at $15 plus shipping. So I listed these for $13.99 plus shipping and ended up selling them within a week. And I'll get those shipped out. I only paid $1, and they paid shipping. So after fees, I'm like $9 in profit. All right, I'm going to say this wrong, so tell me that it's wrong and tell me what's right. I sold this Harry Coates. I mean, it could be Choatis. Who knows? It's a CD of old Zydeco Cajun music. And it's actually a 3 CD set. And I picked it up for $2.99 and it sold, I think, for $12 shipped. It'll ship media mail, so that'll cost me $3. So I'll be $5 into it. And if you figure $2 worth of PayPal and eBay fees, then I made about $5 or $6 spending $2 to buy that. These Ex Officio shirts I listed the other day. That light's really bright. You can't even see that at all. Hold on a minute. Okay, so the lighting's a little better over here. These are Ex Officio shirts, which is kind of an odd name brand. It's not something I was hugely familiar with. It's evidently hiking gear. It kind of reminds me of Columbia. Some of that Columbia stuff that's vented. Look out for it. I did reasonably well. But of course, I picked these up on a day where our thrift store was doing 3 pieces for 99 cents. So I paid 33 cents a piece for these shirts. I sold them each for $9, and the guy paid the full shipping price on both of them. I was gonna invoice him and cut the shipping price, but he already paid, so he was happy with that price, and I accepted the offer that he made based on paying the full shipping price. So I'm just gonna, it's $3. I'm just gonna keep the difference, and I'll send those out in one of those priority flat rate envelopes, and it'll cost me $7.75. Just get a different angle. We'll do all three different places. This one, this is a fun thing. It is a wind-up toy. It's from 1981. I think it doesn't say 81 on it. I figured that out in my research. It's kind of, I've had some luck with, look at this. He walks and it's a camera, and then he looks through his little magnifying glass. It's cute. It's a fun thing. And it sold, I listed it for 12. I accepted an offer of $10 shipping. It'll ship for like less than $3. And that's more stuff today. We're getting there. So the CD, I went over to somebody's house and they had some extra Amazon shipment stuff that they were throwing out. So I took this. The CD is going to go in that, just a little bit of bubble wrap, and that'll be easy as it can be. It's hard to come up with a box that's small enough to feel like you're not way over packaging something like that camera, that wind-up little toy. But that's only going to be 5 ounces, and so I'll be like right at $3 shipping that. And, you know, it's not going to get damaged. So the shirts got up to almost 2 pounds. So the flat rate envelope is a really good option here. $7.75. The customer paid $10.83. So he gets both of these shirts in this thing shipped for one flat rate. If it fits, it ships. If you fold them up good, it fits. All right, well, I think we're going to call that a day. Sold 11 items today, got it all shipped, and my kids were on a half a day of school, so I had to do it around a bunch of grade schoolers and a baby who is adorable but is demanding. And she's shuffling around in her bed right now, having woken up from her nap, and I'm like, all right, I'm done doing the eBay thing for today. I'll wrap up the video, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.